Hello Aries, my name is Jason. This is your general tarot reading for March 2019. You'll know in the first couple of minutes whether this is your reading or not. Please take what's yours and leave what's not. If you find it's not resonating, or even if it is resonating, please check out my readings for your moon sign and your rising signs, and quite often they will help fill in the gaps or perhaps even resonate much more strongly. I find that the rising sign readings usually resonate much more strongly for me. But for now, for the month of March, for you Aries, you go into this period with the Four of Swords as your opening card in our Celtic Cross, which we'll be doing today. So perhaps you've come through quite a busy period or a rough period, or perhaps you've just completed like a whole bunch of paperwork or a whole bunch of activity, and now you've got the opportunity to sit back and just reflect on how things were, perhaps even appreciate yourself and how you handled things, and basically just have a look and see what you might do differently next time. But we'll clarify that somehow. But it looks like you're in a space now where you can just relax a little bit after this, not necessarily an ordeal, just perhaps a chaotic or very hectic kind of a period for yourself. Okay, and I'm feeling contracts there for some reason. Okay, what's crossing you? You have the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups is a card of opportunities being shown to you and you don't necessarily see them. Okay, so if you have a look at this character here, he's looking at those four cups, or the three cups in front of him, sorry, and the universe is offering him this other cup. It could be like a chance for some kind of emotional fulfillment or emotional growth, but he's not seeing it. And if you have a look at his body language, he's crossing his arms there. Perhaps he's bored, or perhaps he doesn't want this opportunity for some reason. I'm getting this, you might know the saying, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. That just came to me for some reason. So it looks like that this is crossing you. It looks like there could be an opportunity coming toward you, and you'll be needing to keep an eye out for it. You might miss it, or unless there's just like a case of sour grapes somewhere for something, perhaps you're just not in the right space to take this opportunity at the moment because you're just not seeing it. You've got other things on, or you just want to give yourself a break from whatever this last situation was which had you so busy. But we'll talk about this. Okay, your conscious goal is to, well, you have here the Five of Cups. Now the Five of Cups is a card again of needing to see the opportunities around you. So you'll see this character here looking down at those three spilt cups. So perhaps this ordeal that you've been through was quite hard and you're looking for a way out now. You're being encouraged here to turn around, pick up those two cups. So it looks like your goal is to find it's like there's the next answer for yourself, to move yourself forward somehow. I don't necessarily see in this case that the Five of Cups is a negative card. I see it as you're searching around, you just can't see it yet. Okay. Unknown influence. Your unknown influence position, you have the Justice card. So remember I was talking about contracts and things. It looks like you might be waiting for a decision now, and once you've got this decision, a legal decision or a decision which is based on whatever this work that you've just done. So once you've done it, you can't really do much. You've just got to wait now and see what the powers that be decide for you. Okay, so I don't like to say that things are out of your control so much, or out of your power to influence, but when we're dealing with like government departments or large institutions, that could be what's happening here. And so, pardon me, it looks like you're waiting to see what comes of all this that you've been through here. Okay, it could be a legal lawsuit or some kind of contract, maybe some insurance, something like that. Okay, in your recent past, you have the Judgment card. It's also a card of karma. So perhaps you've had a rebirth of something. If you have a look at this card here, these people are climbing out of what seem to be coffins. So you thought something was dead and buried a long time ago, and perhaps you had given up hope. and then you made a decision to make a move on something, and the angels have come to help you or meet you halfway here, and now there's a sense of rejoicing about this. So you thought something was dead and buried, but it's come back to life, and it's quite a positive card, and perhaps it's given you this energy to move forward with something that you've been looking forward to. And so we're starting to get a picture here of what's going on. But whatever this was here with this judgment card, it was a decision that you made, or some steps you took that once you took them, there was no going back. Okay, so it was all forward movement. And Aries, you don't mind taking those leaps. I know you don't. So it looked like you were acting as an Aries would typically act. So I don't think there was anything out of character here that you've done. Probably you've been acting really within your character. Okay, your future or approaching influences. You have the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords talks about sleepless nights. It talks about worrying too much, overthinking things. And so perhaps I'm feeling that this is happening in the next couple of weeks. You'll just be wondering and wondering because you don't like waiting. I know you don't like waiting, and you're jumping to move to the next thing, and you've just got to wait for this decision, whatever this decision is here that this person or this group or this institution brings down. That's going to give you the freedom to, it's going to make you feel like you have the freedom to move on. So you're probably just going to be worried about feeling a little stuck. Things will be moving a little slowly for you. Now, I'm not an astrologer, but most of us know that Mercury is going retrograde, and Mercury controls communications or influences communications, things like that. And it throws a spanner in the works, that breakdowns, computer problems, lost paperwork, things like that. And that might be causing you some frustration there, I'm feeling. But it's still feeling like a pretty positive reading. It's really like a moving forward kind of energy I'm feeling here. Okay, so what talents, what skills are you bringing to this question that is at the forefront of your mind at the moment? You have the Ace of Cups. So you're feeling, again, this sense of rebirth, this sense of newness, and it's like you're willing to offer yourself and take this emotional opportunity. So it's an opportunity for some kind of emotional fulfillment. So you might be thinking about a new love interest or a new work project that you have on, or you're just waiting. When this decision, I'm still getting a lot of waiting here. When this decision comes, you're really going to be chomping at the bit to get going, and you're doing other things in the background, Aries. I can see that. It's like you've been chipping away at something for a long, long time, and I think you understand that processes just need to be processed. Okay, so we'll have a look at these anyway. We'll clarify these cards, many of them, and this is the Star card. This is your environment, how your environment sees you, how you see your environment. So what a beautiful card. This is a card of optimism, hope. Could be about fame as well. So perhaps you're doing something quite public, and it's just feeling like you're feeling very positive about the way forward for you. Okay, that's looking really optimistic. It's a good feeling that you seem to be having since you've had this new beginning. These things are really flowing for you, and your hopes and fears. You have the Magician card, another fantastic card for getting things done. This is right where you love to be, Aries. The Magician here is pointing up to the sky, almost pulling down from the sky, from the universe, and putting it down to the ground, saying, hey, you up there, come down here, making it happen. And this is what you're working on right now. You're working on making something happen. You've got all the tools at your disposal, or because it's in your hopes and fears position, you're hoping you have all the tools at your disposal. Okay, so if you have a look at on the table here, the Magician's table, it has the cup, the sword, the pentacle, and perhaps you're thinking that there may be a couple of things missing from this equation, from this, from whatever you're working on or whatever's coming. there might be something missing and you don't quite know what it is. So there's a sense of mystery, but you're still being very hopeful about things. But look, the Magician is a very positive card for making things happen. And because it's with the Star card and the Ace of Cups, this is looking like a real sort of, you've got a lot of power with you at the moment. Okay, in your outcome position, you have the Eight of Pentacles. So yes, you do have a bit more work to do, and you will have, and you're looking forward to this. You know that whatever you're working on is going to require blood, sweat, and tears. I don't think you're going to be bored with this. There might be some learning, a lot of learning. I've heard this card referred to quite often as the apprentice card, and so this apprentice here is working away. There might be some mundane things you might have to do, but at the end of the day, you know that it's worth doing and the benefits will be there in the long term. Even though I'm not seeing any pentacles here, this is feeling like something which will pay off. Okay, all this work that you're doing here, but we'll have a look and see where this goes. Okay, so it looks like you're working on something which is, or you have been working on something, you've put in a lot of work and you're expecting to put in more work, and you're quite happy to do that because you're quite passionate about whatever this is. It's just that there's some kind of a delay and you're roaring to go. I'm feeling almost like a rebel without a cause. You're searching for this idea somehow, and you're in a good space and you're just waiting for something to latch on to, like an epiphany. And I think this came to you, and now you're just trying to work out how to put this in place. So if you didn't have a pretty new idea come up around the time of that last full moon, perhaps this new moon energy which is coming up to us, I think it's about the 6th of March, and I'm not an astrologer, but this is the word on the street, or the word in the skies perhaps, that this is what's going on. Okay, so there's a new moon coming the same time as this Mercury retrograde, but I don't know what relationship those two energies have to each other. We'll have a look and see what we say here. So this Four of Swords, what's this Four of Swords about? Why is a Four of Swords here for Aries at the beginning of March in their opening position? And you have the Chariot. Okay, yes, so you want to get moving. The Chariot is a card of victory. It's a card of really controlling where you want to go. If you have a look at this person here, he's in control. Okay, he knows what's going on. He's feeling like the universe is moving him forward. It's a card of willpower. So it's like you've had this job which required a lot of willpower that you had, and maybe there was also a Cancer in the mix somewhere. So this is the card of Cancer, the Chariot card, and so maybe there's an influence there. So you've been dealing with this person or a water sign, but it looks like whatever you've come through, which has given you this rest now. You had to use a lot of willpower. You needed a lot of staying power, and you needed to be in control. I'm feeling like you had to hold the reins really tight, and you really had to steer this way and that, but you were quite confident with it. Okay, so that's a pretty good energy. Now, what's blocking you or crossing you? Let's say this opportunity. What is this opportunity about? Why is the Four of Cups here? Why is the Four of Cups here for Aries in March? There's a Four of Cups here for Aries in March. We know this is about keeping your eyes open for opportunities. Please clarify that for us, Spirit. Why? Why is the Four of Cups here? Okay, and you have the Eight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles again talks about work. Okay, because it's crossing you, perhaps you're feeling like you need to be doing something. So you're feeling like you need to be acting on something, but there's something stopping you. and it's just holding you back a little bit. You want this. You want to be really moving along and getting this work done with the Eight of Pentacles here. But there's just something it's like a good opportunity coming to you, but you can't act on it or until something's finished or closed off, or until something's signed, I'm feeling. So it could be some kind of a new career, something in your career which you're waiting to start. You're not afraid of the work. You want the work, but I think you want to be passionate about what you're doing, whatever this is. And so perhaps you've been offered a job, or you will be offered a job, and you're not sure if you want this because it's not going to be quite up your alley, and so you might be holding out for something better to come, or something which is more in line with the path that you want for yourself. Okay, so let's have a look with this Justice card. Why is the Justice card here for Aries in the unknown influence position? Let's have a look here. It's a Justice card here for Aries. You have the Queen of Cups. Okay, so the Queen of Cups talks about intuition. She's quite a motherly figure. She's a shoulder to cry on. She represents a water sign also. So perhaps there's a woman in your vicinity or in your environment, and she might be in control or of some kind of decision, or she's someone that you need to consider within this justice decision. So I'm thinking that this person is not central to the decision, but she might have an interest in the decision that's being made. So it could be like a child support arrangement, or so whatever happens with this contract, it's going to affect her, and it could be financial. It could just be about rearranging schedules. Could be about totally changing the way like a roster is constructed, perhaps. Yeah, so if you're moving into a new job which might require a change of hours, for example, then if this is like an ex-partner, then it might affect the custody arrangements that you have. Something along those lines. I think you'll know if that's resonating for you. But this is generally a good person that you're dealing with here. So, but it's just that this person will be impacted by that, and you still don't know how or what kind of impact this decision will have on them, even though they're not central. They're not central. It's just sort of, there's something that might need to be considered when you take this new pathway, or when you start this new thing that you're working on. You might have a job, for example, which is going to require you to travel a bit, or something like that. Okay, and anyway, so let's have a look. Why is the Judgment card here in the past? I'm not feeling drawn to clarify the Judgment card, apart from to say that this is a rebirth of something you did fairly recently, a decision you made to move on from something, to start something up which was perhaps dormant. So perhaps you had an idea that, or a task that you had months or even years ago, and it didn't quite work, and now you've got a chance to do it again, or to somehow relive this experience, coming to it with more experience now. So we'll have a look and see, why is the Judgment card here? What's a Judgment card here in the past, in the recent past, for Aries? Okay, so Nine of Cups, wish come true. Okay, so I feel like perhaps you've had some kind of a victory, okay, a moral victory or a legal victory or a financial windfall perhaps, and it's allowed you to really spread your wings, okay, and it was a hard time sort of getting to this point, and now you've You've seen what is possible for you and you want more. And it's looking like you're making things happen for yourself, and that's a great energy. I'm really feeling some good positive vibe there for you, Aries. Okay, let's have a look. Why is the... Yes, it looks like you're coming from a good spot with this Nine of Cups. Okay, whatever this decision was that you made, it's almost like a wish come true. Your wishes have been granted somehow. But the Nine of Swords. Why is the Nine of Swords in this position, in the approaching influence position? Okay, so there was something that you were overthinking, perhaps a little bit impatient, worrying about delays, and I'm feeling there could be some delay here. We know patience is probably not your strongest aspect. Let's have a look. Why is the Nine of Swords here? And you've got the Ten of Rods. Okay, so again, more work, but it's about releasing the burden, and I'm thinking the burden is really about something that's been hanging on and you're trying to get rid of it, and there might be some misgivings you're having about relinquishing or giving up some of these responsibilities that you have. Okay, but it's the Ten of Rods, means it's the end of a cycle, and perhaps you've been carrying a little bit too much and you're going to be able to dump that, and you're just not quite sure, or perhaps there's some moral dilemma you're having about how you're going to release some of this burden. And I'm feeling it could be something to do with this Queen of Cups energy here. Remember, we said that whatever this legal decision is, or the outcome of this decision, it may affect this person somehow. And I'm not even feeling this is a big issue for you. It's just something you're going to need to consider. Okay, during the month of March, there's going to be some rescheduling, some reprioritizing, re-rostering, or a change in some domestic arrangement, perhaps because of this new thing that's going on. Okay, so let's have a look at... I've just dropped my Ace of Cups down here. Sorry. So the talents you're bringing now is a sense of freshness and a sense of newness. Okay, with your Ace of Cups. Okay, so you're feeling quite generous and you're feeling quite positive, and you're ready for a new, emotionally fulfilling start. Okay, but can we clarify that a little bit more? What kind of start are we talking about? What kind of skills and talents are you bringing to this question that we have? Okay, strength. Okay, so you're bringing strength, you're bringing a sense of calmness, and you're bringing a sense of compassion to whatever your task is here. And this is a beautiful position to be in. Look at this woman here taming this lion. So she has the power here, but she's doing it through love. She's not doing it by, chaining the lion up and ripping its mouth open or whatever. She's actually caressing this lion. She knows exactly what she's doing, and everyone seems happy about this. There could be a relationship with a Leo happening, or someone with Leo in their chart, and you're feeling that this is going to help you grow somehow, this person, whether it's romantic or whether it's like a business thing, or just like a partnership or something. So I'm feeling there's a person like a Leo around you, okay, and they're feeling pretty good, and you're feeling pretty good about having them around. Now, the Star card is giving you lots of hope. Perhaps you're a little bit famous in whatever you're doing, so there could be some public recognition for you. People are starting to see you for having special skills, or being a certain way, or a go-to person for something, or perhaps you've shown some leadership. And the Star card, oh, here we go. The Star is clarified by the Devil card. So the Devil represents usually some kind of codependence. Okay, so perhaps people might be relying on you a little too much because this is in your environment position. Perhaps people expecting too much from you, perhaps. Perhaps there are some hangers-on who they're not necessarily bad people, but they just might be getting you to do a little bit too much work, I'm feeling, or a little bit take too much responsibility. Look, but I don't think this is a negative card at all. I'm thinking also it's a card of Capricorn, so there could be a Capricorn person in your midst somewhere. I don't know why the Devil card is here. Perhaps it's a warning to be not swayed by this new fame or this sense of responsibility that you have, Aries. I'll just try and see, why is the Devil card here? Why is the Devil card here in this otherwise beautiful reading for Aries, really? Why is the Devil card here for Aries? And we have the Ten of Swords. Okay, so the Ten of Swords is a card of betrayal. It's a card of, well, backstabbing, as you can see. It's the card of it's a card of completion of a cycle as well. There are no more swords after the 10 swords have gone in. Of course, there's none left to stick in there. Things can only get better. So perhaps in the past there was a rift between you and some other people, and that's starting to heal now. So perhaps it was just some real tension in like a group that you're with, and it's like some gossip or something, or someone said something, and that's starting to thaw out now, and so the relationship is starting to warm up, and communications are beginning to flow a little bit better than it had, even though there was it seems like there was a sense of betrayal there, and there's some forgiveness happening now. Okay, so I know you don't hold a grudge, Aries, so perhaps someone else was holding a grudge on you for something insensitive that you said, or some action that you took which was serving you, but perhaps a little bit inconsiderate of others' needs, and people are maybe just forgiving you for that now. I'm feeling. You can take that. If that's for you, you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, in your hopes and fears, the Magician, and you're thinking that you don't have all the skills that you need. Okay, what is the Magician here? What is the Magician here? Is there something missing from this equation that Aries needs to know about? What is it? Information that they need? Let's have a look. You have the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so the Four of Pentacles talks about it can be people being stingy with their emotions, or stingy with their information, or stingy with their money. Now, it could also be that you're just feeling like you're a little bit short of money at the moment. And so to make this next step, you might have to take some risks, and you're a bit worried about taking that risk because it might not be financially sustainable if things don't work out, something like that, or it might break too much into your savings or something. So anyway, it looks like whatever might be holding you back here is just a little fear about money, that's all. I don't think it's a big fear. I think this is a great reading. So let's have a look. Why is the Eight of Pentacles here in the outcome position? So it looks like you're in for a lot more work, Aries. If this thing comes off, you know it and you're prepared for it, but it looks like it's something that you're passionate about. Let's have a look. Yes, the Ace of Swords. So it's a clear new start. Okay, so it's looking like whatever this work is, it's heading towards giving you a clear new start with the Ace of Swords. Look at that beautiful, almost a majestic feeling I get from this Ace of Swords. It's like you've got clarity, you've got a clear run now. You can just cut through all the crap and make things happen. It's a gift from the universe almost, which you've worked towards. You're doing this work and the universe is rewarding you with that. So that's your reading for today, Aries. I really hope that's resonated. It's looking very positive for you after perhaps just a tumultuous period here, a little bit of worry and delay. But it's looking like at the end of things, you're going to be working, but it's a lot of work. I'm seeing like staying up at night working, but it's going to give you such clarity. You're going to have such a sense of purpose. You're going to be loving it. So please like and subscribe and leave any comments about what you think of this reading, and hopefully talk to you in a couple of weeks.